What is good in the hood, peeps? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone is doing very, very well and outside enjoying this glorious weather we've got. I mean, this weather's ridiculous right now. I don't ever remember it being like this. I don't. To be fair though, I do have a short memory, but I don't remember it being like this. It's been this good. Well, it's not been this good, but it's been pretty good since the start of lockdown. So like since like middle of March, it's been good weather. We've had the odd day where it's rained a bit, but in general, it's been pretty good. So hopefully everyone's outside enjoying themselves. All right, don't forget if you're new to the channel to press that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share as well. Let's quickly continue our theme of business shout out. If you're new to the channel, you're thinking, what's he doing shouting out small businesses? I did say that for a little period, not forever, I'm going to shout out a few small businesses. These are people that watch the channel. They've got businesses. So they support me by watching the channel, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. So why not quickly give them a shout out? All right, what's this one? This one is Nate at Testosterone Tips. Hey, Ade, been a subscriber of yours for a couple of years now. Great work and keep the good content going. Nice to see you branching out and coming out with some new ideas. Keep up the hustle. I've seen you've been shouting out businesses and would appreciate if you could give me a shout out at some point around a couple of different online fitness businesses. One is Testosterone Tips, aimed at helping men naturally optimize testosterone production and advice for men on TRT. I'm UK based, but is relevant for pretty all global territories. He's got his website there and Twitter as well. What's the other business? The other business is Dream Chasers. It's home fitness. It's a Shopify store with all workout and recovery kit that people can use at home. Great if people are still worried about venturing to the gyms, which they are, you know. Like my gym, like I would say only 10% of the people have come back, to the point where I spoke to a manager and he said the gym could shut down just because everyone has cancelled their membership. Crazy. I think he said something like 400 people. That's mad. Sorry, where was I? All right, so let's start again. Great if people are still worried about venturing into the gyms or in a country where people still can't go to the gyms. We provide free worldwide shipping as well. I provided a couple of screenshots which are on the screen now, so people can see the IG details and website, etc. Yeah, so that's Nate. So that's Testosterone Tips, and that's Dream Chasers Home Fitness. Give those guys a follow if that's your thing. I might give them a call about that Testosterone Tips. Boy, that little TRT shit. As you get older, I am old, guys. I am 39. I'm no spring chicken anymore. All right, let's have a look at what's going on in the world of boxing. I actually don't know if there's anything to talk about. But normally I kind of think, yeah, there's something to talk about. I don't know if there is, but I'm sure we'll find something to have a good old chinwag about. The green chair on tour, I don't know why I paused there for a second. I'm going to take it to outside Matchroom fight camp. Fuck it, innit? See what we can do. Film outside fight camp. Just seems smart to do. Me and Ring Raps, the guy that is behind the camera, the voice behind the camera, thought that'd be quite fun to do. I don't know how close we can get, but close enough where you guys can still see fight camp in the background. We'll see. I've been there once before, so I'm just trying to remember if there's a place to actually put the chair without actually being on their property. We'll see. All right, let's talk about this Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones exhibition fight being postponed. The date it was supposed to happen was September 12th. They are now looking at a date in November. The reason, and I think it's a bit sketchy, but the reason they're saying they postponed it or pushed it to November is they want to make as much money from it as possible. So I'm guessing they probably know or have heard that maybe fans will be allowed in venues in and around sometime in November, wherever this fight's going to take place in America. I don't think that's set in stone, right? I mean, hence why they've not fixed that November date in stone. I'm guessing it's going to be depending upon what happens with COVID. If there is a second outbreak, if we have to go into another lockdown. But they've now moved it away from September to, we're here in November. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just got to strike while the iron's hot. And right now, the iron is extremely hot with Mike Tyson. And let's be honest, big time boxing isn't back either. So for me, September 12th was perfect. It's a boxing date we're used to because that's the date Mayweather used to fight, Canelo used to fight. So it's a date we're used to. It's a date boxing fans are used to. Canelo, it doesn't look like is fighting September 12th. So for me, it was a perfect date. I even predicted at $50 the fight could do 1 million pay-per-view buys. I think the further you leave it, interest will still be there, but interest will definitely wane, right? Because big time boxing will be back. The Charlos are back. Gervonta Davis is coming back. Fingers crossed, Usyk, Chisora. So big time boxing is coming back. Right now, big time boxing isn't there. I know we've got Povetkin versus White, but it isn't really there yet all over the world, especially not in America and the UK. So I think it's a mistake if they're doing it just because of a crowd coming back. I think behind the scenes, it could be something else. It could be an injury. And I said this a few days ago. I think I made a video talking about this, that these are two guys, yes, both of them look in relatively good shape, but the fact is both of them are in their 50s. And if they are getting ready for a proper fight, and that's what it is, I know it's called an exhibition fight, but it's a proper fight, right? If they are getting ready for a proper fight, you do have to take your body up another level, right? You have to go a bit harder. And I think as you go a bit harder at that age, you are susceptible to injuries. Fact, it happened with Nigel Benn when Nigel Benn was getting ready for Sakio Bika, hence why that fight was pulled, and because of the negative feedback as well, but because of injury more likely. And so one of these guys could be injured right now. I genuinely believe that one of these guys could be injured and they need time to recover. That's what I am more leaning towards rather than the fact that they want a crowd back. Because even without a crowd, this fight would, if put on September 12th, does incredible numbers. And again, I think the novelty of it will wane come late November. And again, that's not in stone that date. So we're talking it could be pushed again to December, whenever it could be pushed. You've got to go now with it. You've got to go now. People are, I even think now, I think September's a bit too late. You've got to go now. This Mike Tyson thing is massive right now, right? It's going to wane. We all have microwave memories. We'll move on to something else. But if it was to go now, it does incredible numbers. The longer you leave it, don't think people will be that interested. I'm not saying that it's going to bomb, but again, I was saying 1 million pay-per-views. I won't do 1 million pay-per-views in November just because real boxing will be back. We are all over it right now as boxing fans. A bit of nostalgia there because we like Mike and we like Roy and, you know, they were our favourite boxers growing up, but also because there's nothing on right now. Boxing will be back in November. All the other big fights will start to get some traction and mention. Joshua will be talked about. Wilder Fury has to happen this year, right? That will be talked about. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones will kind of be forgotten a bit, I think. So let's wait and see anyway. All right, what's this one? Natasha Jonas, I'll push for rematch. Not sure Harper will want it. It probably should be a rematch, but Harper's got mandatories to take care of. And look, it's funny with this one because Joe Gallagher obviously was steaming after, understandably so, right? He was obviously saying that Jonas won it by a couple and that there should be a rematch. What was he saying though when, in many eyes, John Ryder beat Callum Smith by a couple? And everyone was saying John Ryder should get a rematch. He was like, ain't happening, right? He was like, no, we have to move on. Right? Same thing with Terry Harper right now. All right? I mean, sometimes you get away with it, you move on. I mean, if people call for it like the way they were doing with maybe Katie Taylor-Pursoon, it could happen again. But I don't know. For now, Harper does have mandatories, and I don't know. I'd like to say Jonas could go her own route and then eventually fight Harper down the line, but Jonas is, 35, 36. So if they're going to do it, they have to do it again very quick. Maybe start of the year sometime, maybe February, March or something. If not, it's not going to happen. But it is funny how the script has flipped on Joe Gallagher because, again, people were saying exactly the same thing, for John Ryder, Callum Smith, like rematch, and he was dismissing it like, I ain't doing that. All of a sudden, it's happened to your fighter. Dillian Whyte warns Joshua not to get in his face in aftermath of Povetkin fight. Okay, interesting. All right, so Joshua will be at the Dillian Whyte Povetkin fight. He will be ringside, and I think he said that he will get in White's face. I don't know why. Why would Joshua even want to approach Dillian Whyte in the aftermath of the Povetkin fight? I don't get it. It's not like there's a fight between you two lined up. So it's no point, right? I wanted Joshua. This is the kind of thing that upsets me a bit about Joshua. I wanted Joshua, for example, to be ringside. I know people might say, what's the point? But I think there's a big point. I wanted him to be ringside when Wilder fought Fury. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. Be ringside for that. You know, you just beat Ruiz in December. February was Wilder versus Fury. Be ringside and let everyone just go crazy as you step into the ring when Tyson Fury won. Everyone would have gone mad. That's when you beat. Why go ringside and try and get into Dillian? I understand what Dillian White's saying. Like, what's the point? What's the point in getting into my face when I've got Fury lined up and then I've got other things after? Like, kind of pointless if I'm honest with you. Normally I'm like, what's wrong with White? What's wrong with White? Why is he so aggressive? But I fully understand. He said he will box Joshua in his face if Joshua does that. So yeah, Joshua, please don't do that. But again, to me, it makes no sense. You want to get ringside for Fury versus Wilder. That's what you want to be ringside for. That's how it should work, right? Sometimes I feel like these boxers need to go, look, it's all about self-promotion, right? I feel like they need to go on a WWE course or something. Don't go that crazy. Don't become a gimmick, but do something. Do something. All right, Jamie Foxx on being Mike Tyson. It's the most dedicated I've been. I do think it's a bit weird for Jamie Foxx to be fair, I don't know what part of Mike Tyson's career this is. If it's the early stage, it'll be good. You know, it'll be very good for it to be, because we all, I feel like, know the story of Mike coming up, living on the streets, customer. We all know that stuff. I'd like it to be after. Like maybe after he lost to Danny Williams, that story where he completely went off the rail, that would be a good story because we don't know that. I don't really want to know the story about Robin Gibbs. I feel like I know all that. But if it's young Mike, it's a bit weird that Jamie Foxx is in his 50s going to play young Mike. Still looks in great shape, but it's just weird. I think the perfect person to play Mike is, what's his name? Boyega, the guy from Star Wars. What's his name? I'm gonna butcher his name. Is it Joel Boyega? I should even know this guy. I don't know. Yeah, it is Joel Boyega. Is that his name? Yes. I'm telling you now, just looking at him now, even looking at his photos, he could have played a fantastic young Mike. Jamie Foxx will still do the job. We know, but Boyega could have played a fantastic young Mike. He would have got in shape, and I think he would have smashed that role. But yeah, let's see what Jamie Foxx can do. What else have we got to talk about? Don't think there's that much, people. Sorry. Leo Santa Cruz says Gervonta Davis will be tired after 5. Then I'll drown him. Ooh, I like that talk. I like that talk. It's gonna be a good fight. This one. It's gonna be a very, very good fight. Gervonta Davis does look like he's working. I see him like hitting the pads with Floyd. Looks like the weight is coming off. I just think Leo Santa Cruz, like, I hope that casual fans are not just assuming that Gervonta Davis runs through. Let me say this. If Gervonta Davis runs through him at 130, that's a bit of a statement. And I'd love him to stay at 130. It's going to be difficult to make these fights, if I'm honest with you. Miguel Bichelt is the one I want. I want Miguel Bichelt to fight Oscar Valdez, beat him, and then fight Gervonta Davis. I doubt it will happen. But it's going to be a good fight between Leo and Gervonta. Looking forward to that one. Gennady Golovkin is having legal problems with his managers. His former managers, should I say. Don't know if you guys know about this, but Golovkin is in court, has been going to court for the last year and a bit, trying to, I think he sued his managers for something like $6 million, former managers, I will say, and they've sued him back for something like 26 million. Yeah, so he sued them for money they've not given him, right? And they're suing him for money from the second Canelo fight, the Derevyanchenko fight, and the deal that GGG signed with DAZN. So they said that they're owed 20% of that $100 million deal. Man. Are there any good stories of boxers and managers? Like, it's constant just negativity. There must be some good stories out there. There must be some good boxing managers. But I mean, boxers have got to be so careful on the come up. On the come up was when they sign these crazy long contracts, and then they're almost impossible to get out of But it's almost like music. It's just the entertainment business. It's almost like the music industry as well. You speak to all these musicians or listen to their stories, and it's like they signed this contract and that contract, and they was happy because the manager bought them a Rolls Royce, and the manager was literally just robbing them. And now GGG's going through the same situation as well. It's crazy. Fingers crossed he can get out of it. If he is in the right, we'll soon find out. Billy Joe Saunders, if I don't beat Canelo, they don't have to pay me. Why do fighters say things like this? I saw Billy Joe Saunders say this, like, Canelo should fight him in December. Makes perfect sense, by the way. And that if Canelo fights him and wins, doesn't pay. But if Billy Joe Saunders wins, pay him what he's worth type thing. It's almost like there's no point saying that, because there's no way you're going to A, sign that contract, and B, your management are going to let you sign the contract. So it's just talk for the sake of talking, isn't it? And look, I get it, but it's almost like when them fighters say, yeah, I have a fight on Saturday and fight you on Sunday. When you know it can't happen. So, yeah, I like Billy Joe's confidence there, but ain't happening, is it? Ain't happening. What's this about Dana White saying, I'm still speaking with Floyd Mayweather regarding return. Can we just let Floyd be? Let him be. Let him just, like, leave him alone. Jeez. Because the problem for someone like Floyd is that if you wave and dangle a $50 million check and you say to him, yeah, you can fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, who clearly can't box, in a box, of course he's going to take it. But just let him be, man. Jesus. All right, what else we got? I think that's it, really. PBC have announced their fights. Obviously, they announced, I mentioned it already, they announced Porter for mayor and a couple of others. Look, to be fair, as much as I don't like Sean Porter fighting Formella, is it Formella, isn't it? Formella. At least he's having a fight. Look how quick he's back. August 22nd, boom, back. Sean Porter is back that quick. I'm not going to mention any British welterweights. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Look how quick Sean Porter's back. Just ready to fight. I say quick. When did he fight? But he's back, is what I'm trying to get at, right? He's just back in a fight. Others are just wagging their tails. All right, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more to talk about. There's no point wasting everyone's time. Have a good day, people. Love and peace. Or peace and love.